This is Elex. We're on Xbox Series X, taking a look at this sort of open world RPG experience that kind of melds towards nature and a bit of fancy technology, one might say. So, what we're getting here is actually kind of interesting. So, we've got two options, and you might be thinking, hey, this is the performance mode. But no, actually, we're on the higher resolution mode. So you get 1800p and it has an uncapped frame rate, which actually means we're getting 60, well, most of the time. There's probably going to be some drops here or there, but if you got some VRR going on, you're probably pretty good on this one. You also benefit from auto HDR, which adds a nice little bit of, like a lovely glow to kind of the lighting in the world and the atmosphere. It's just a nice little addition for this one. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting sort of title that I wanted to talk about. I'm not necessarily like huge on this one. I didn't really put in, too much time on it, just because it didn't necessarily fully grab my interest at that time. And I think I was also busy working on reviews for other things. But yeah, I just thought it was really neat to, kind of show off this game, especially with the fact that, now we're actually getting like 60 and having the resolution quality, which is nice too. And yeah, it's just kind of a nice combination for sure on this one. Use the quick slot, although that was probably a bit of a waste of that. Oh wow, look at that weird raptor thing. But yeah, you just kind of get to explore what actually kind of looks like a really lovely environment. I believe I was working through a bit of it just so I could, cover it at the time, but it is what it is. But now we're checking it out, which is kind of cool. So it's from the people that did the Gothic series, I guess. So, if you're into that sort of thing, you'll probably find this a little bit fascinating. Got some neat little kind of meld of these forts and stuff and places you can go. And then, of course, lots of nature stuff. Freedom of choice. You can kind of make choices and, cause some issues and rippling effects within the story, depending on what you do. Freedom of movement to move around. You can use some different ability type things. There's like a jetpack and stuff in order to flop around in that, which is kind of cool. Hello there. You've got some cool armor. That's for sure. And then, freedom of development. You can kind of change the class style or mix and match things to build whatever sort of, interesting character setup I guess you would like to, which is kind of interesting. And lots of different weapons and stuff, and grenade launchers, flamethrowers, melee stuff, bows, different things like that. And you can go anywhere in the world too. You're not really restricted, and it's got like this, like I said, a bit of an historic sort of humanity type thing mixed with nature, and some messed up technology stuff as well. So you actually get a very dynamic sort of world, I guess you could say, just in terms of the different things you're gonna come across while you're exploring and playing and interacting with the world, which is kind of cool. Metal scrap. And I mostly just wanted to show off the world and just kind of talk about the fact that this one's kind of a little bit interesting because of that angle to it. I also think it was perhaps a little overlooked by people. I imagine some folks might not have even heard of this one kind of existing, because I think there was quite a bit of competition at the time for sure. So yeah, you get to kind of explore what feels like a bit of a a post-apocalyptic world, while also seeing some of the reclamation of the nature and all that. And it actually has like a neat sense of lighting to it as well. I think the HDR actually adds quite a bit in that regard. I think it's kind of a cool effect for sure. And yeah, kind of a cool experience. So we're just mostly gonna show off some of it and hopefully give you an idea of how it's running, gameplay wise. A broom. Oh wow. I wonder if I can fall down just a bit. Yeah, that's good. That was a funny little jump there. It's like not getting much distance on that jump, that's for sure. I will slay you, rat. Nobody expects me to kill a rat. I received one bone. Bundle of old world money. That's what I'm talking about. All about the old world. Oh, I did not mean to jump off the building and take off half my health, that's for sure. No siree. But yeah, you get a good sense of scale in this one, and of exploration as you go around, checking out the sites. And like I showed with the map, you know, there's quite a few areas that you can end up going. The map seems to have some frame issues, but, you know, it is what it is. A piece of Elex. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Dried meat. See, there's stuff everywhere. You just gotta look for it. Just gotta look for those resources. But it's kind of interesting. I don't know. Like I think hopefully maybe someone will take a look at it after seeing it and being like, oh, this is interesting. Especially since it does, you know, actually benefit from forbidden to take that stuff from that frame rate and that. So here's a bunch of cool people. I think there's like this is like a king or something. Ragnar.
Master Thorold. What kind of man is he?
Thorold is not here at the moment. The warlords are in charge of the day-to-day running, though all owe their allegiance to him, the Pilgrim. He has taken it upon himself to go into retreat, to seek the answers we need for Edan to survive. His knowledge of magic is superior to anyone's. If there is any person capable of solving the problems we face, it is the Pilgrim.
Let's assume I help you out.
Yes?
What kind of special tasks would you have for me?
Special tasks? Why would you figure that I need someone who can do more than just the usual?
Because I see what's going on here.
Is it that obvious that we have some problems here in Goliath?
Yes, it's apparent.
I have to admit I underestimated you. At least you're observant. But it also takes guts to confront me. So you really want to help us out?
Yes.
There are many things to be done. Our people are dedicated, but we still have supply shortages. Food, medicine, machine parts, and other equipment. There are too few cultivators in the fields. Speak to the people here, and they can tell you where your skills are best used. Earn their trust, and you may earn mine. And if you're planning to join us, then I will have a very special task for you. A lot of people come to me, looking to join us, to climb the ranks. You look like you have ambition. If you earn my trust, you'll go far here.
Thank you for that riveting conversation. I guess it would also be good to kind of show off. Uh-oh. That's an interesting stutter. To quickly show off the other mode as well. Well, ain't this just a fancy house? You can click on the right stick if you want those tight over the shoulder angles. Oh crap. Oh god. I didn't want to end up here. The sound of cracking against the water is not good. Okay, does anybody know how I get out of the water here? This was, definitely not part of the plan. not work out how it was supposed to. Yes, that is the end of my journey, that's for sure. Let me continue from our last place. Oh wow, it's actually really fast on the reloading there. It just takes a little bit of time to actually get into the game, though, that's for sure. Definitely a bit of a load up once you start kicking, but you know, it's actually got some decently lovely locations in that. This tree looks really nice. Definitely can fall down easily. But yeah, I think some folks might find this one to be a little interesting, a little bit dynamic, offer something unique. I'd love to hear actually some thoughts on it overall for folks that really spent their time exploring the world. Is this like a little tree garden? I don't think you should group them so close together. What are you fighting that you've got these big ass? Huh. Seriously, they're massive, these things. Looking off into the distance. Anyways, it's a forgotten world that you get to explore. It's filled with mystery, intrigue, discovery, things to collect, and things to manage as you go about fighting weird creature things, other enemies, and exploring a range of unique locations. It's got like a real culture set up to it and everything. You know, it's sometimes a shame going to, you know, RPG games that didn't quite take off and just like seeing the lore and the world that they set up. It's just always cool because it's like, oh, it's a shame that we didn't perhaps get to explore this further, if you know what I mean. It's definitely something to consider. Why would you have a spot here without a railing? That's just asking for something unsafe to happen. But anyways, that's Elex on the Series X.